So Unit 2, regardless of where you are in turning stuff in, the project planning sheet and contract is open for you. You can click on it and see it. As requested by students, it is one document now instead of two. So you click on it. I'm not going to stand here and read you these instructions. Everybody here is an excellent reader. If not, turn on voice box. The computer will read it to you. You click on Movies. Movies run. Thank you. You click on the contract document. It's one document instead of two. Let me real quickly run through it. And let me explain the purpose of this. This is to help you plan out who's going to do what work over spring break, because you are going to have to do some of this work over spring break. There is no way around it. You are going to have to do some science this weekend, next weekend, or on spring break, or you will be behind. It's called a planning sheet. So it's a chance for you to decide in advance who's going to do what work. There are 3 topics of science this unit covers, but there are only 2 people allowed on a team. So you need this planning sheet to decide who's going to do work with which topic. This topic covers electricity, magnetism, and gravity. And electricity and magnetism overlaps, and that's how we get some cool inventions and interesting things in science, which we'll be seeing in our lab. Team members, we need full names. Moodle gives us blind grading. We set it up that way in science deliberately. So when I was grading these sheets and it told me the team was made of me and Jose, don't know who me is because it's blind grading. Don't know who Jose is. I think we have 3 or 4 of them. Need a whole name. Need to know what class period they have science and who their teacher is, so that we can get their grade recorded in the right place. So we give you an example. John Doe, period 3 with Corke. Goals and objectives. What is your project going to be doing? Are you going to be creating your own experiment showing these 3 things? Electricity, magnets, and gravity? Are you going to use videos that's already out there? Are you going to do a lab? Are you going to try and duplicate the lab we're going to be doing probably Thursday? Yep. Because Wednesday, remember tomorrow, Chromebooks, chargers, make sure you bring them. We do an inventory here. So think of what you want your project to do. Is it all going to be on video? Is it Google Slides? Did that work for you? Did you have problems uploading videos? In which case, maybe you need to do more videos and make them shorter. I'm personally finding out with YouTube that about 5 minutes is the longest that works easily to upload. So take what you've learned from Unit 1 and apply it here. Progress check, leave it blank. Final project due date is March 31st. The task is where you're dividing that work. So you got 3 things you're going to study. At most, you only have 2 people. So decide how you're going to divide the work. How do you decide to divide the work? You look at that in GSS. So let's look at it so you can see how all of this connects together. Because some folks are still not seeing how everything connects together.
I need Sandra, Pina.
You check it out. Your project's over these 3.
Yeah.
Your stuff is electricity, magnetism, gravity. Let me make a suggestion. Some people are struggling still with explaining, and part of the things that were listed in that grading rubric is that you have to define science words. If you're still struggling with explaining in GSS, if I was a student doing this assignment, the very first thing I would do would be make a list at the bottom of my Google Doc of all the science words I have to define. I would look at the black and red words and pick out a list of all the science words I need to define. You have the resource of the flex books to find those definitions. You can't just leave that list there, you'll lose points. But that's your starting point. So I might make a list that says electric forces, magnetic forces, gravitational uses the root word gravity. Gravity interactions is the search I would do in the flex books. That would be gravity you're going to define, and then gravity interactions. Attraction. It says attractive. The root word would be attraction. So make that list of the words you're going to define. Find the definitions. Then when you start explaining, like number 4, in the paragraph where you explain it, you're going to have to define gravity, what gravity interactions are, what it means in science to be attractive. That does not mean you're cute. So your starting point might be to make your list of words, define them in the flex books, and that can help you for explaining the NGSS. Also, by pulling out the science words, that is one way you could then divide the work over here when you're looking at the project contract. So if you would go through and make that list of science vocab that you have to be certain to explain, now you have kind of a guide to help you with the task. So somebody's going to have to do something in your project about electric forces. So tell me who that's going to be. Somebody's going to have to do something about magnetic forces. That would be a task. Use your NGSS to figure out what has to be defined, and then that helps you to plan the tasks. Since you will have to be doing some of this project work over spring break, it would be very helpful to you and your team if you have this sheet ready to go by like Friday, so everybody knows what they need to be doing over spring break. Problems that you might have had in Unit 1 that we saw a lot of. People being in different class periods of science. So if you want to work with a partner, that's awesome. I would personally suggest stand up, look around the room, and pick somebody who's in the room with you. Different class periods was a problem for many students. There will be 0 team changes for this unit. Do not send me a text next Wednesday when I'm off dealing with some family business matters. You know what? I just can't go along with my partner anymore, and they're not doing their work, and we're not going to get done on time. I'm going to throw them out of the group. Don't care. Too bad. Your problem. You're stuck with them. So either work alone or pick the one person who you can work well with. Maybe they live close to you. Maybe instead of somebody in the classroom with you, you want to get somebody who lives close to you so you can get together over spring break. But 0 team changes for this unit. And when you pick them, you're stuck with them. Short of one of them being into the hospital near death, which I will go and visit them and verify it, you're not getting to change your team partner. Tools needed. If you're just using videos or making your own videos, equipment, materials, resources might be those web pages. Remember, just like in History Day, where you keep track of the web pages that you go to, maybe your resources are the flex books. That's okay. You list what resources you're going to need so that before you leave for spring break, you and your partner know, do you have everything? Are you going to have to go buy something? Who's going to take care of buying it if it's needed? The name of the document is planning sheet, not do the project and fill this out after you're done. The goal of this sheet is to help you plan who's doing what work to make your life easier. So look at what your science vocab is at the NGSS. That's also going to help you for explaining it. That's also going to help you for listing out the tasks of who's going to be doing what with your project. The lab will be Thursday, and the inventory day is tomorrow.